Howdy, folks. Welcome back to Run 8. We're going to get loaded in here. We're picking right up, right where we left off the last stream. We'll be continuing here with the AB45. We've got one more industry to work here, if I remember correctly, and then we're heading on down to, I think it's Bessel Yard. Something like that. I cleaned off my desk. Now I don't have my map handy, but yeah, we're heading on down the line. One thing we need to do is get mainline authority. Made that mistake last time. We didn't actually have mainline authority. And we had a train stacked up against us. So let's go turn on auto. We got Build It Funky and Nova Blaze in the house. Welcome. Nonsense Railroad. Yeah, I don't know too much about the prototypes. I just play with trains. Sure they all have their little problems. So if we pull up the dispatch screen here, got that's the one that passed us. We have nobody coming in here, so we should be able to hop out here on the main. Let's see. Oh, that's right. It turns all this off, doesn't it? Get our train all started up. And we're going to make this our safe slot number 1. You can stay there. I did move the rest of my train over to the siding, so that train that was coming at us at the end of the last stream could get on by. So that's pretty much the only change I've made. Let's go make sure it didn't automatically throw an EOT on there. It didn't. Excellent. Crash, smash, and explode. Nice. Okay, let's get out on the main. I want to see if I can get Otto to give me mainline authority. So is he going to let me switch that? Yeah, there's nobody coming, so he's going to let me switch that. And let's see, are my headlights on? They are now. Then once we get out here on the main, I should be able to ask Otto for mainline authority. We're going to need it for a switching lead. We got too much train. I could probably stick some more back on that other siding, but we'll use mainline authority. Everybody awake? All right, let's go ahead and tone up the dispatcher. Keyboard is struggling. Happens to the best of us. Mainline authority granted. There we go. So now he knows we're here. Question is, will he take that away if we leave the main? I don't think he will. I think you have to relinquish it back. Pretty sure that's how that works. All right, let's go back to the back of the train here. See what we got going on. If I remember right, we just dropped those off. And we had some extra here. Yeah, we had some extra we need to put back on that other track. So back to this kind of aquamarine car. Needs to go back on this other track. right about there. Start rattle booming our way backwards here. So 4 cars. We need to put 4 cars on this track. Got the Canadian Northern BNSF Foxy. That's a nice little short line, it sounds like. What we've got here by me, definitely got Norfolk Southern, even up here in Missouri. And UP mostly. A little bit of BNSF. I don't know where you're at exactly. Alright, you guys have no air in you. Take your handbrakes off. You're going to start rolling. Got him. Up around Green Bay. I got you. All right, so we need this car to be passed. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty good right there. We get lucky with the tension. Nope. Had to push on it. Push. You're a little slack moving. There we go. All right. Pull that pin and then close the angle cock real quick. All right, let's hop on this car. If I'm riding on the car, can I go to the external view? Oh, I can. Nice. Not sure if that was a thing. Oh, it doesn't show me riding on the car. I'm invisible. The invisible man. Hey, what's up, Oleander? Oleander's Gaming and Boreum. I watched a bunch of your videos when I was way back when I was getting started in Run 8. Super helpful. Appreciate it. All right, I think we're done with this spot. We just need to hook up to the rest of our train and get out of here. I think the rest of the stuff is down in... is it Bessel? Besser? Get my map out. Bessemer. There it is. Bessemer Yard. And then we got a little bit of stuff to do on the way back to the other yard. Whatever yard that was. What yard was it? Norris Yard. Yeah, there we go. I'm learning the route. It's all new. So let's hop back up in the cab here. Actually, let's hop out to here. We're going to need to go back on this switch to get the rest of our train. The invisible fedora. Something like that. See how well I timed this brake application. Might have cut her in a little early. You can always stretch the train out a little bit. Give a little tug on her. There we go. Car and a half. Easy does it. Sweet, I was close enough to hit that. You guys are talking Greek, I have no idea. I'm a filthy casual when it comes to railroad. Lieutenant Space Orange, a new name in chat there. Welcome. And wham. That will do. Does it reset the... Save that as 2, and let's head back here to the end train. Does indeed open that back up. All right. Close that. What about air hoses? Did it leave the air? No, it disconnected all the air hoses too. All right. Well, I can use that to hook up the air hoses. Get that to go back to this spot. You were open, and let's get you going here. Partial. Give her a couple notches, and let's pump some air. First time you caught me live? Yeah, I'm hard to catch live. I just kind of stream when I have time. And I had a little bit of time, so here we are. Wife's out shopping. Got 20, 30 minutes of peace and quiet. And she'll be back. So if you don't want to pump air, you can set your F7 key to do the air as well. I kind of like pumping air most of the time. So I think BRL is Bessemer. Wonder what all gets dropped off at Bessemer. If I bring up my switch list again. Yeah, BRL, GFS. I know STI is the one we didn't need to hit on the way back. Does Golden Flake snack foods get dropped off at Bessemer Yard? It's a great question. Let's go take a look at some industries while we're pumping air. It's a pretty small route, so it's easier to find stuff. Golden Flake snack foods. Where are you at? Oh no, you're back over here by, I think this is Birmingham. And it looks like I should have worked you on the way out. Oh no, this is coming back. This will be coming back into Birmingham. Okay, so that's another one we work on the way back. I think the only one we need is the, what's it called? Birmingham Rail and Locomotive. I think that's the one that's at Bessemer Yard, maybe? Where are you at? I think this is the line that goes down to Bessemer. Let's just double check. No, you hook up back here where this guy was. Or do you go on through? Yeah, so this is Bessemer Yard. Okay, yeah, that one's worked by the CSX. Looks like. Okay, so that goes to Bessemer Yard. You would like some Golden Flake snack foods? I have no idea what Sloss Furnace is, so no idea. Am I quiet? I should be normal volume looking over at OBS. How's it going, Marty? All right, now I got to find my way back to where I am. Here I am. We're over here. All right, she's all the way open. We should be getting bumped up. Getting there. Slowly but surely. Let's hop in the cab for a bit. I'm not familiar with this area at all. So I've been doing a lot of flying around, figuring out where stuff's at. Let's get our panel lights on. Or not panel lights, gauge lights. There we say, Bob. Got ready to head out? You're right, Bob. I did not put an EOT on the end. We're just going down the road a piece. It's not very far. What's up with their flow rate? Something's not right here. What did I mess up? Everything? Probably. You're open. You're open. Why is this not matching the gauge in the cab? That's my question. The historical iron furnace at the east side of Birmingham. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. We can go take a look here in a second. We're not very far from what I think is Birmingham. I think we came through Birmingham on the way down here. So there's that. Hop back in the cab. Why is that number not match that number? Huh. It is perplexing. Okay, we got a solid brake release. Oh well, we're just about the point where we can head on out of here. Then we'll relinquish our mainline authority until we get down to Bessemer. I think is past the signal. So I think that's an intermediate signal, maybe. And we're just going down, like, we're going down to right here. We don't have very far to go. Then we'll have to run around the train and head back after we do some drop-offs here. So looks like we can probably run around the train on this track. So probably need to pull all the way down. I don't know how they usually do this. Do they pull into the spur here? Looks like we might be able to pull into this and use that as our switching lead, because then we can get all the way back across that track and then use that to run around the train. I think that's the play. We can go across some diamonds. That'd be fun. That's set normal. And yeah, Lieutenant Space Orange, just not spam, man. You're just chatting. It's all good. Okay, so then we have these non-mainline switches. We're going to be coming in through here, over to there, over to there, and then straight on through. And then we'll use that for a switch lead. I think that's what we'll do. I don't know if that's what you're supposed to do, but that's what we're going to do. And then we've got these cars here. That one is staying, and these look like they're scenery. It's marked none. So we can use these 2 tracks to drop stuff off. And then there's a CSX engine over there that runs this off-track stuff. Okay, let's get back to our train. And we can get headed out of here. Hey, Chris Dunn, thanks for popping in. Oh, you watched the last stream too? Yeah, if you like trains, Run 8's where it's at. It's pretty good. All right, Bob, you ready to head out? Bob's ready. Pull out the slack, and then we'll give her some more amps. Oh, she's pulling back on us. Hang on, everybody. Hey! Oh, no, wrong button. There we go. Now we're going. I need to get my headlights back on bright. Go ahead and tone up the dispatcher. Hey, Raya Stream, welcome. All right, we have relinquished mainline authority. Now, if I ask for a signal, he's probably going to tell us to call him to the next control point. I don't think we're going to get to the next control point before we need to stop again. So we're just going to wing it. Actually, where is our stuff? It's towards the middle of the train now with all the switching we've been doing. Alright, cool. Oh yeah, I need to look for the furnace. Remind me to do that once we get stopped. And Zerg, welcome back. Yeah, we're finishing up the job. We just picked up where we left off with the other stream. Kind of roaring out of here at above the speed I should be going. But it's all good. I won't tell if you won't tell. I guess I can leave that up. It's probably easier to read than the gauges for you. I forgot to install the font file again. There's a font file you install, so these have the proper LCD digits and stuff. I forgot to install that again. Oops. All right, we're on the main, so we can pick up a little bit of speed, although we are just around this corner. We're going to stop again. So we don't want to get too excited. Looks like we got a detector right here. So be prepared for the radio blast in your ear.
Norfolk Southern detected. Milestone. 2 track.
Detector's working. We're just going to kind of sidle our way down here. We got oranges across the board. I have no idea what that means. Any Norfolk Southern folks in here that know what orange means? I don't have that printout in front of me. It's not red, so I'm going to go with we're good to go. Some kind of restricting would be my guess. It is a milepost signal. Real Museum out in North Carolina lets you drive. Yeah, I think I've seen YouTube videos of that. They have like an F7 It's the one I'm thinking of. What'd you get to drive? Nobody here.
Southern detected. Milepost. We're 5. We're point 2. Track. We're no defects. Total. Axle. We're 9. 4. End of transmission.
Cool. No defects. In theory, that's the right number of axles. What's that? Is it this one? Yeah, 194. Still have all of our train with us. That's good. Alright, we got a little bit of a dipsy doodle up here, it looks like. Even though we're stopping up here, we're going to give her a little more throttle. Medium prepared to stop. Sounds like it might be. A General Electric shunter. Okay, cool. A little, oh, what are they called? Is it G400? I forget what those are called. So we got a little bit of a grade, and then it's hard to tell if that's leveled off or if that's back downhill, and then another big grade up into by Bessemer Yard there. I don't see anybody else coming our way. We should be good to pull into the siding up there. So with that, I'm going to go and set myself a point up here so I can hop out and throw the switch when needed. I'm up here on the ground. We're done back at that other spot, so I'm just going to say this is position 1. And we'll call this position 2. And we'll do position 3. There we go. Back in the cab. Saludigrade? I'm not sure where that's at. Probably not. Yeah, we really got to slow down on that grade. I didn't want to get a whole bunch of speed up though, because we're stopping like right up here. Or if that's the signal. So if you were doing this for real, would you have to just like pull up here and stop, and then your conductor gets off the train and throws that switch? Then you pull on in? I guess that would be how that works. Bob, you gonna get that switch for me? Nope. Bob's busy. He's busy growing his mustache. Biggest takeaway was it felt just like the video games as far as how the controls feel. Neat. Oh, is that one in Railroader? Railroader is the based on the Murphy branch of the Southern. It has a big grade on it. I don't know if it's that grade. We're almost there. So I wonder if we're going to have enough room. Probably not. I'm going to have to leave part of my train on the main here. And block this road. That'll make me popular. Like there's anybody here. Alright, let's use the gravity brake. I know the cars I need to put over here are kind of in the middle of my train. I want the middle of the train to be stopped, kind of where these switches are. Alright, I'm going to pop up here, pretend like I'm the conductor, setting those switches up for me. And I've stopped. Yeah, Bob's like, I'm not getting up. Do it yourself, kid. Oh, this is going to be too much braking action. Caution, noob at the controls. I didn't even do a brake test. I'm just pretending like the brakes are working. Looks like they're alright. Alright, I guess I should be back here. Where is the cars? I think it's these guys. Should be lined up to get in on that switching lead over there. Ended up with a bunch of cars ahead of the ones we're dropping off. There they are. So it's these, the cinder beams? Yeah, cinder beams with the iron on them. Alrighty. Copied off the Wikipedia page. There you go. And then these two gondolas. Okay, so those covered hoppers there is the last part of what we need to leave on the main. Hey, it looks like we're heading in the right direction. All right, we are stopped. These BRL cars here are all going over here in the yard. So let's get some handbrakes tied on. I recently learned you can hit spacebar and it will do the last action on the car. So that's why my horn's tooting, because spacebar is also the horn. And we're going to bottle some air here. Oh, we got a little bit of slack, don't we? All right, we're going to have to let the train ease back against that. So, release that. Since we've closed that, that shouldn't affect those cars. Oh, does it have a pretty small character limit? Gotcha. All right. Pull the pin. Beauty. Hey, give me a free ride. There we go. And I forgot to request mainline authority. Whoops. Otto, don't send anybody down through here, okay? All right, then we need to get over on this track. Oops, wrong button. Just noticed our front of our train was heading downhill. All right, back out of the dynamics. A mighty shove up that hill. We've got 3 like SD40-2s, so we've got plenty of power. Yeah, exactly, Nova. It's a free ride on here. And that switch looks like it's lined up. Watch, as soon as we pop out of that hole, we're going to start gaining speed pretty quick. We die like men. So this gradient number up here, that's what the locomotive is seeing. It's not necessarily what the back of your train is seeing. Something to keep in mind. Yep, green and green, so we're set up to couple up to those cars. Brake shoes work. Reminds me of the scene in Galaxy Quest when the new pilot guy is taking the ship out of the dock, scraping down the side of the spaceship. Good stuff. What a great movie. Ka-wham! Yeah, we got all kinds of room. So we just need to get this car right here back on that track, and we're good. Anytime now, train. Doesn't want to stop. The brakes hadn't charged back up all the way. It's amateur hour here. All right, let's just double check. Got BRL. These are all BRL. Excellent. Throw some handbrakes on. Yeah, it's probably one of Tim Allen's best pieces of work. Galaxy Quest. OSU. Of course, we've got a little tension on here, naturally. Let it roll back a bit. Right, we might have to give it some help. Oh, there it goes. As soon as I say that. Okay, that is pulled. Let's hop in the cab. Forward hoe. Now we need to grab the rest of our train off the main and then get it over on that runaround track that's over on off of main 2. Nobody coming at us yet. Which is good because I forgot to request mainline authority. So Otto's going to be mad at me. All right, and trip our counter. Hit the wrong key there. That'll tell me when I'm back up past that switch. We have a limit here? Yeah, 15. That's kind of what I thought. Usually any kind of yard trackage like that, you're limited to 15. And then some slack. We're going to have to get on the brakes pretty good. We got this big grade right here. Lots of drug tests, right? Bob's still over there. And we'll just use the dynamics and the loco brakes. There we go. All right, so if I hop back to this point, hop back over on the main and grab our train. On the main, grab our train. Here's your empty cup. You know what to do. All right, if I pull this up. It says I have pickups. Are those, I wonder if those are over at the industry. Haven't been brought to the yard yet. Where is BRL? BRL, where are you? Like, there's this whole container industry here, and it's not even an industry. Like, you can make it into an industry, but it's not set up to be an industry. Sound kind of strange. So BRL is off over here somewhere. Ah, here it is. Okay, yeah, there's things here that need picked up, but that's the job of the CSX engine, which also works this local. If you look over here in the trees, there's the Bessemer switcher. So that's something we could do along with this job at some other time, is gather up those cars. Probably should have done that before I brought the AB45 over, but I'm learning. I don't know these things. We're learning as we go. Wait for me. Yep, nobody coming. Good deal. So now I need to grab the rest of my train, and we're going to go over to this side track here, and then we have to run around, put the locos on the other end of the train, and we're going to head back east. And I keep forgetting to go look for that furnace. Somebody mentioned a furnace. I think it was on the east side of Birmingham. We need to go look for that. It'll do. Alrighty. I'll connect up to the air hose, and you were closed. You were closed. So we're going to open you. We're going to do a partial on you. As I bottle the air, we should be good to go. Open that all the way up. And then I need to get up past somewhere here. We got slack running out all over the place. I need to get up past this switch with the train, and we can get over on the passing siding. Everybody push. I've always loved watching trains snake along the track, whether it's model trains or real trains, computer trains. It just looks cool. All right, let's make this we're up to 4. I'm going to need this track. Make this the last one, number 5. And just double check. Where are we headed? Oh, we haven't even made it around the corner here, so we've got plenty of room. Your doctor doesn't let you push. All right. As long as you got a note from your doctor, you're good to go. But yes, I hit that too hard. We're going to stop too early. Yep. And we'll see if we can creep up. We're kind of draped over a hill right now, so it's a little tricky. We're going pretty slow. I'm going to cheat and use the loco brakes a tad just to hold us down. Okay, lots of brakes. Give me lots of brakes. Okay, give a mighty shove. Tying up 2 main lines now. Zerg. That the itsy bitsy spider train? Oh, that wiggle worm. I think this will fit on that siding. We're about to find out. About 2,200 feet long. I'm not sure how long that siding is. My paperwork say it is 2,550. So we should fit. I have no idea what the railway series is, so I am out of the loop. All right, we got heavy dynamics, getting a little air on as well. We start cleaning up these switches. Oh, I missed what Otto said. I was too busy stopping the train. What did he say? I don't know that there's actually a log anywhere. Let me crank that up a little bit so it stays on the screen longer. What did Otto say, chat? Did he give me mainline authority? It looks like he did. Maybe. No, it's pink because of the switches. All right, let's go back to here. So we need green. These all green back up. Yeah, they're kind of dirty. Need to clean them up. So I didn't see if Otto gave us mainline authority. I have no idea. I wish there was like a message log. As far as I know, there's not a message log you can go back to. I'll ask again. So he'll either relinquish it or he'll give it to me. Okay, so he did give it to me. Otto, buddy. It's me again, Margaret. Oh, he's unable to issue now. How do I do that? Is it because I'm off the main line now? I think that's how that works. He's going to get tired of hearing from me. Yep, alright. So we're going to have to uncouple, get back out on the main, then we can request it. Alright, let's set some handbrakes. Lots of handbrakes. Then we're going to have to let the pressure settle off of there. Should just release the loco brakes and be able to do that. There we go, pin pulled. Otto, it's me again. There we go. He's still talking to me. Bob, we clear on that switch back there? Yes, we are. Alright, let's run down. We're going to get on the other end of the train. Which right now is reverse. What's the limit when you're running light? Whatever you want it to be. We're going to say 25. Ish. Oh, they're spawning at Powers. Isn't that by me? Oh, we're Powderly. Never mind. Uh-oh. Almost slowed down too much. A little bit of a grade here. Watch your step. Albino Tailgater, welcome back. Not doing too bad. Chilling after work with some trains. Trying to finish up this AB45 local job we started the other night. know if we'll get her done. We'll get close, maybe. My back's in pretty bad shape. Been working a lot this week. You wouldn't think sitting in a chair would be so hard on you, but it is. When you're old and have a mostly broken back. Alright, let's do our initial stop right here, and then we'll ease on back. Go hooked on, we'll be ready to head back eastbound, and then I need to, don't forget, I keep forgetting to go look for the furnace. Alrighty, let's connect that and open that. We should be able to just get hooked in here because we have the brakes bottled, and then we're going to hit the undo all the handbrakes key. Now we need to move ourselves and Bob back down here to this loco. We're going to say set as lead unit. And we should be all set up. Got you still in MU. You are in MU now. One thing you gotta remember is that does take off the loco brakes. I always forget about that. Alright, loco brakes are set. We have our engines. Let's go look real quick. Somebody mentioned there was an historic iron furnace. They wondered if it was modeled. Am I going the right direction? Which key is it? Yeah, all right, we're going the right direction. Back past here. Yeah, you drive for a living, Nova? Yeah, exactly. I've worked a lot of hours over the last 30 years sitting on a chair. Okay, so we're heading... So that way's east. So he said it was on the east side of Birmingham. Was it Sloss Furnace or something like that? I don't know exactly what I'm looking for. There's something that looks vaguely furnace-like. We turn on, is it... Yeah, milepost tags. So this will mark some stuff. There's some kind of furnace-looking thing near 32nd Street. Was that Lieutenant... was something orange? Let me scroll back up. Lieutenant Space Orange, I think. Let me find it. Yeah, Lieutenant Space Orange said Sloss is a historical iron furnace on the east side of Birmingham. I don't know if Lieutenant Space Orange is still here, but that might be it. Maybe. I'm not sure. I'll take a screenshot of it though. It's kind of on the east side of Birmingham, and it kind of looks like a furnace. So maybe it's modeled. All right, let's go back to our train. Whoa! Back on the ground. And we are ready to head out, I think. Let me go back. Yeah, that one's... All the switches are cleaned up. Let's just double check. Everything's back to green. So, we're ready to head out, I think. Between US 280 and 32nd Street? Yeah, that was right there by 32nd Street. Thanks, is it Sifo? I think that was probably it. Oh, I gotta move around in my seat. Gotta say, I'm not happy with the new DX Racer. I had a DX Racer King series for about 6 years. Awesome chair. But I wore it out. So I got a new DX Racer something or other. They didn't have the King or the Tank anymore. And it's crap. I'll never buy another DX Racer chair again. Right near rail yard? Yeah, that was probably it then. Alright, I should have hit my counter. Keep hitting the wrong key for that. Then we'll know when we're out of that siding. Alright, let's go talk to Otto. We can relinquish our authority. And then I want to go to... Which... Yeah, it says Sloss Yard. So that's probably that furnace there. I forget where we're going exactly. So I think we'll just request signal and go for the best. Though I'm not sure if we're near enough a control point. Call me at the next control point. Just found out today you might be coming through here regularly. Ew. Okay. Montgomery, Alabama, I assume you're talking about. There's signals up there that are orange over red. This one up. So we had previous signal was an approach. All right. All right, we are out of the siding. And I forgot to get my headlights back on bright. And I actually need to go back there and close the switch. Whee! There we go. Only a 3-hour drive. That's not too bad. About what it takes me to go see my mom. Okay, we are going places. Where are we going? That's a great question. We have some work to do. Get closer up here to Birmingham. And a little bit of a run. Yeah, so once we start seeing buildings, I think, let's see, was it? Yeah, we've got here to work and here to work. So once we see buildings, we're going to have to stop. And I don't know how you would work this. That's kind of crazy. I don't know if you'd use one of these yard tracks. Or we may just see if he'll give us the main line and we'll work the main line. I don't know how you're supposed to actually do that. We're going to assume orange over red is some kind of like, be prepared to stop. So GFS is first. I don't know for sure where that's at on our train. A good look as it comes roaring by. So STI is right on the front. That is good. And GFS is right behind it. Perfect. It's blocked just how it should be. I like it. That's all red up there. We don't want to get rip-roaring too fast. I don't see anybody up there. I guess we're going to have to tone in when we get closer. Let's see if he'll give us a signal now that we're in sight range of it. Now he's good with us. Proceed on signal indication. Green for go. Hey, Rand McCrap. We're working trains again. It's a continuation of the job we were doing the other night. Let's see, we go ahead and turn off Mr. Tags.
Shadows detected. Milepost. We're on 5. We're on point 2. Track 2. No defects. Total axle. We're on 7 0. End of transmission.
Sweet. We got all our axles with us. Good to know. There we are. We're in run 8. Usually about the time I get up to speed, we have to slow down again. That's okay. I enjoy the local switching much better than just running down the main line for 4 hours. What's our HPT? 2.8. Seems like it's kind of draggy. Notch 8, don't be late. That's right. And I'm not really signaling for all these crossings. It's a lot of horn. There, I hit the horn so it knows I'm alive. Hey, don't stand there. That's dangerous. Don't stand there. Okay, fine. I was kind of looking for somewhere off the track. There we go. YouTube held that for review, but I'll allow it. It was a little too horny. I just looked up at my speed. Like, we're going a little fast. Two and a half miles to the next signal, so we got some time to just cruise down through the trees. And this route is fairly hilly. I was kind of surprised. That's right, we got places to be. I'd like to tie up at Bessemer Yard here eventually. I don't know if we'll get it done this stream or not. Yeah, we got a bit of a hill. I don't see any buildings quite yet, so. Let me see if on my map, can I tell which mile marker we're looking for? We're looking for, nope, doesn't say on the map. 142 is the next street up. I don't know how far away that is. I wish they'd put mile markers on these maps by the industries. 146. 140, so somewhere around 144 is where we're going to have to stop. I think. So we'll keep an eye out for mile markers. I can also turn on the, is it this one? Yeah, there we go. We got a little ways to go.
Milepost 147 point 1 track 2.
Green for go. Wasn't paying attention to the speed. We lost quite a bit of speed there on that grade. Bad engineer. Guys better stop going across. There's a train coming. And remember, the train always wins.
Normal battery detected. Milepost 147 point 1 track 2. No defects. Total axle 170. Under transmission.
Green for go. We got 146.6. So maybe a couple miles. We're actually to 30. That's probably about where we're going to be switching. 2.4 miles. That sounds about right. Yeah, we got some skyscrapers on the horizon. You're right, Bob. I did forget to put an EOT on the back. My bad. That's the plan to add it to Railroader, as far as I know. Unless that's changed. Yeah, there's traffic on here. You can turn it off. It's under somewhere. Car spewers. Now it says reduction to 25. Oh, I see. So right past the 30, it reduces to 20. Gotcha. Yeah, the next patch for Railroader is looking pretty cool. Yeah, exactly, Nova. Think of the poor engineer. It's a life-changing event. I think that's the track for GFS right there. We gotta hit the whoa button. Let some slack run in. Yeah, pretty sure that's, yeah, that's GFS and that's STI up there. All right, a little bit of a downgrade. Yeah, I saw they had a little patch. Yeah, we need to ease up past that switch just a little ways. Grade will help us slow down. Okay, we made it. Let's just double check. That is indeed GFS. Got a few GFS cars back here. Let's get our car tags turned back on. Be scrapped. Okay. GFS. Actually got quite a few GFS cars, don't we? Could have pulled up a little further. So the blue box car. Let's pull up a little more. And we'll make this our new point number 1. There's car tags over there? Oh, yeah, I see. Those cars are to be scrapped, apparently. Alright, so the unskinned car and then back to the blue box car. That's what we're dealing with. Who's Mr. Harmon? I missed something. Oh, I see the other message up there. Somebody that films trains, apparently. Alright, we got mainline authority, so we can work here. Double check. I've got room ahead of me there, so no. I just need to be careful not to go past that signal, which hopefully will work out. Where's my blue car? There it is. I think we should have enough room to pull up past the switch and back into here. Oh, that's the guy that does distance signal. I gotcha. Yeah, I've seen distance signal. Watched a few of his videos. Yeah, unfortunately, a few rail fans give the rest a bad name. We're on a pretty good grade. I'm going to go and do a 15-pound set on the train here. And we're going to throw some handbrakes on. All right, and forward we go. Yeah, from what I've seen, I've only watched probably a couple of his videos, but he seems like a pretty solid guy. Yeah, I've never been back in there before. I don't know what we got to deal with. We'll figure it out. Probably should have grabbed the pickups, though, first. That would have been the smart thing to do. Oh, well. We'll see what we got to work with when we get back in there. Let the gravity brake do its thing. Rule of thumb. Okay, we should actually fly back in here. What do we got to deal with? Oh, we have nothing to deal with. Okay, well, we'll pull them out. We'll stick them on that train, and it'll all be good. Either way, we'd have to go in there twice because there's only one track. How heavy are we? Fairly heavy. All right. That's good to know. We'll get a initial set and we'll push against that if we have to. I don't think we're going to have to. No tag, huh? Sweet. Okay. Because I'll say no tag. I guess they need to come out of here, though, so we can put new ones in. Let me double check. Yeah, there's only one track here. Okay. Oh, wrong side of the fence. Let's see. We need to hook you up. Oh, right. Close you. Connect all the arrows. I forgot this. They spawn in with the arrows as unhooked. So we need to hook those up, and they were right against the bumper, so that's fun. Set every handbrake. Handbrake. I wonder if that's enough. Eh? Oh, did I blow the emergency? How did I manage to do that? Oh, because I opened it partial. That was open. Even? Okay. Open it partial was enough, huh? Yeah, we blew the emergency, right? No? PCS is not open. What did I do wrong here? We got an angle cock turned off somewhere. So if I do Shift B. Yeah, we got an angle cock close somewhere. All right, let's go find it. I flubbed up. Telling me surprised. It may not have been the right car. That wasn't the right car. That's why. I need to do this one. There we go. Hey, look, now we're putting air in the train. I was back here thinking I was at the other. All right, we're neutral. Let's give it a couple notches to pump some air. Let's, I wish, I know why they don't do it, but I wish the cars had the actual numbers on them. I mean, you can turn on the, that. But I kind of wish the cars had the actual numbers, but for performance reasons, they don't. There's a reason you can have, 30,000 units on a Run 8 world, and it still works. Flow rate's good. Now we're getting air. All right, it's releasing air. We should be able to pull out air. We still got air in the other cars. Here we go. Pull these out. Dispatcher, yeah, there's nobody inside. This is a pretty quiet route, the way it's default set up. All right, let me hop out to here. We can watch these beautiful cars roll by. Then we're going to have to back the whole train up because I forgot we were picking up cars here. All right, gravity brake. Do your work. Not a single got tagged. Yeah, they've got a pretty hard stance about that. They don't want to glorify vandalism, so they don't have that stuff in the game. I respect that. Crunch. Just start rolling. That looks like it levels out back there. All right, we need to come back to where? 2 cars past the red boxcar. Not too far. We just got to back up a little bit. I think I'll just let gravity do its thing. You set enough handbrakes, Nova? Hey, Jeremy. Appreciate you watching. Thank you. Just a dude playing video games. Pretty amazing to hit 25,000 subs. But I've been doing this for about 11, 12 years, something like that. So it took almost a decade to get to like 2,000 subs. Then it kind of exploded. Thanks, Railroads Online. Yeah, we don't want a runaway train, that's for sure. Yeah, Railroads Online, it like quadrupled my channel in like less than a year. It was crazy how popular that series was. Hey Curtis, this is called Run 8 Train Simulator. It's kind of the ultimate simulator sandbox for North American railroading. Kind of in a class of its own for physics and system simulation. A really solid multiplayer, but I'm just playing on my own here in my own little world. A little bit of a grade coming back in here to GFS. Alright, I'm going to release the train brakes. We're going to keep a little bit on the independent just to kind of ease back down in here. Going slow, we can use the independent. We've got 3 locos up there. How does it compare to Deer Valley? Not really at all. It's not a game. It's a simulator sandbox. So it's up to you to do whatever you want on your railroad. There's no game elements to it. It's a simulator and the rest is up to you. They both have trains in them, and then that's kind of where the similarity ends. Totally different kind of game. Hit the wrong button. We end up in that tree. All right, let's go look and see. Are we on the industry? Turn on industry tags. So there's these little orange dots right here. And the car tags. No, we got too many cars. Even if I back in all the way. So we'll leave them here, and next time we visit, we'll just have to swap them. They gave us too many cars on this train. So this train did come with, like, you can either start with an empty world, or there's a save basically that comes with this route, and that's what I started with. And this train was on there. It was set up pretty decent, but a couple places I've been, there's too many cars for the tracks, so there is that. You found me while you were listening, while you were looking for something to listen to. Nice. Yeah, there's Curtis. If you're interested in Run 8, there's some videos out there. Like I know Blue Games, or is it Blue Games or Blue Simulations? Blue Games. He did a video like, you know, what is Run 8, that kind of thing. There's videos out there that will go over a lot more than what I can explain easily here on stream. But basically, it's like if you're familiar with flight simulators, it's like the DCS of terrain. Like it's full sim. Each one of these cars has brake pipe. Both the auxiliary reservoir and the emergency reservoir are modeled. All the pressures, the brake cylinder. It's all modeled. You can even set retainer valves. All kinds of fun stuff. All right, a couple of handbrakes. That should be plenty, right? Close you off. We got too much tension on the coupler, naturally. So we're going to let it settle back a little bit. We're on a grid. We should just settle back with gravity. There we go. Take some tension off that. Now we can pull the pin. Now we can head back out of here. Yeah, hardcore train sim. It concentrates on systems and physics rather than flashy graphics. Let me on! Let me on! There we go. Grabbed it that time. Okay, that is GFS switched. We got one more industry. And then we're heading back to the yard and we'll be done with this local. Let the local brakes stop us here. I'm not just right. Surprised Heist hasn't tried it. Yeah, I don't know if he's tried it or not. Might not be goofy enough for his taste. He's more of a Steam guy, though, too, isn't he? There's no Steam. It's all, like, 2000 era diesels. To maintain my speed over some loco brake. Crunch. I think we're there. All right, we'll take off the handbrakes. Let the loco brakes hold us. Get up the air hose. Open you. We bottled the air, so we should be good to open that all the way up. Let the brakes release. Everything's going to start rolling downhill. That's okay. We got 3 SD40-2s worth of independent brake on up there. So this is just the slack running out in the couplers. So we'll let the train stretch out, and then we're going to pull up. We need to kind of figure out how to do STI, because we have to cross over to the other main. So actually, I haven't saved either. Let me save. Let's go see where we need to go here. Every wheel be off the rails. Yeah, you can derail in this, but it's not like spectacular. It just, you'll see the truck like on the ties. No over the top physics when you derail, anything like that. So I wonder if, like, normally you would use, well, that's an Amtrak track though, so you probably wouldn't use that. I don't know how they would work this in real life. We're going here to the scrapyard. So if I turn on the industry tags, so we've got a bunch of cars there. Turn the car tags back on. Like we're picking up some loaded cars here. We got about 5 gondolas we need to pick up. I think these are all just to be, yeah, these are just scenery. They're just scrap. Like on-air company. I mean, it models industries. So this, let me just show you real quick for people that aren't familiar with it. If I come over here close to this track, and I bring up the industry window, search using, nope, not close enough. All right, let's get inside the car. Nope, okay. Well, I know it's S something. Schnitzer? Yeah, STI. So this particular industry is configured to take it wants gondolas and it produces loads. So it takes empty gondolas and produces loads. And then it'll randomly tag the outbounds for these destinations. So there's not really an economy per se, but there's industry. So you don't have to do any of that. You can just do whatever you want. But I'm working it like it's my little railroad. I like to run locals. You can also just dispatch if you want to just be a dispatcher. There's a lot to it. Anywho, we need to pull all those cars out, and then we need to put the these empty gondolas in the tracks. So what's the best way to do that? We need to work off of... So we can work off this track over here. That'd be the thing to do. I don't know where we're supposed to put the rest of our train while we work STI, basically. I don't want to tie up both mains, so probably the thing to do is to pull over to main 1. Right now we're on main 2. Get the whole train over on main 1, and then we can request mainline authority on that, and then just work off of that, I think. But you can access it through here. Yep, alright. That's the plan. Back in the train. So, speed limit 25 here. Roger that. So, we're going to have to talk to the dispatcher. You can dispatch yourself, or there's also an AI dispatcher that's sort of okay. Okay, so we've relinquished our mainline authority. Now I want to tell him that I want to go over to this block. Be this one or this one? Let's say it's that one. Oops, wrong button. Oh, because it's a switch. I don't want to throw the switch. There, I'll tell him we're going there. That way he'll cross us over to main 1. Where are you, dispatcher window? The AI dispatcher exists. Yes, he does. Otto the automatic dispatcher. Alright, he's acknowledging us. Let's see if we can't get underway. Rich! We're on like a 0.62 grade. At least we were. Proceed on signal indication. Alright, so hopefully that means he's crossing us over. Not familiar with Norfolk Southern signals. Yeah, he's crossing us over to the main. All right, cool. So we'll get all the way over on main 1. Yeah, main 1. And then we'll work it from there. I'll have to reverse and back up. We got this. That's a beautiful shot. Stare at the ground. Then some really poorly textured trees. Alright, we don't want to get over 25. Right around 22, it switches windings in the traction motors. That's what that clicking was. For better efficiency at speed. See you later, he says. Okay. Thought we were friends. Diverging approach, yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get over on here and we'll request mainline authority. I don't think anybody else has headed through here, at least for a long time. It's pretty clear. It's Microsoft Train Simulator trees? Yeah, for sure. Kind of like the dispatcher, the scenery exists. When that counter hits 0, then my whole train should be over here on this main. And I'll want to get up past it away, so he'll switch it back. So we'll put about a 10-pound set on. That ought to do. Jump back to the back of the train there. I don't think he's switched those back yet. Mr. Otto, he just switched those back. Alright, we've stopped. Yeah, he hasn't switched this. I might have to do some manual dispatching. We will see. It says we're blocking that, so maybe he doesn't want to flip it for that reason. Yeah, I think the thing to do is just to do manual dispatching. It's going to be too much of a pain to get Otto to do what I want to do. So I'm going to turn Otto off for this screen. He'll still be controlling the other screen, the other part of the railroad. Flashing, that should throw. I don't, does it think I'm still too close? Might think I'm still too close, even though I'm nowhere near it. Yeah, I think the base game is about $50. And that gets you like, it's either 200 or 250 miles There's a lot to do in the base game. Tons of industries. Then you can do like me and just slowly add to it over the years. Yeah, I don't know why he's not throwing that switch. Unless he just thinks we're too close. Yeah, man. Isn't there a way to like force it to switch? You click it on here. That's a locked CTC switch. You must ask the dispatcher to unlock it first. There's a way to unlock it. I don't remember what it is. We do the right click trick. Maybe that's how we do it. We turn it blue and then we switch it. Nope. No, it's definitely not on Steam. It's a small, like, niche team. One or two main developers. The website's like from the 90s. Why are you not switching? Okay, well, let's pull up a little further. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. We're not really anywhere close to it. We're kind of close to that other switch. The Run 8 has a very steep learning curve. It comes with tons and tons of PDF documents. Just be forewarned. Do your research before you dive in, for sure. It's not for everybody. And has switch. Yeah, build a funky. I was very wary the first time I got into Run 8. Like, this website looks like a scam website. So I did a lot of research before I dove in. You're not switching. I'm clear of that block. It's because this signal got dropped? Signal currently unavailable. Huh. Okay. There are absolute signals there. I don't see any. Yeah, I don't know. Something weird's going on here that I don't understand. Okay. I don't think it was a distance thing. So let's just let this coast to a stop. We'll abuse the loco brakes. Oh, now it switched. Maybe it was a distance thing. Yeah, we're good. All right, fair enough. We're good now. All right, since I'm the dispatcher, nobody has a signal through here. That signal's changed now that the switch is thrown. We're good to do whatever we want to do. Let's go do that. Let's go switch STI. The first thing we need to do is back up past this switch here. We gotta come all the way back. Now that we got all the way up there. Yeah, the thing too, Curtis and anybody else new to Run 8 with the add-ons, like, you don't need any of the skins, like the rolling stock engines and cars. Those are just cosmetic. You get all the cars in the base game, and they work just fine. It's just a cosmetic skin that you're buying if you want extras. I don't know if it's half or 2/3 of the cars are skinned, you know, in the base game. Let me find a boxcar here. So here's an example. I don't own this skin for whatever this is. But what it does is it makes it a generic Run 8 boxcar, and it scales it to the right length, and it'll be the right weight. So all the physics, all the operation is the same. It just looks like a Run 8 boxcar. So I hope that makes sense. I run a lot of mixed freight, so I gradually bought up most of the mixed freight packs, although I don't have the latest 2 new ones. All right, we don't get super fast backing up here, but so basically we're going to be switching these empty gondolas. So we need to get the rest of the train past that switch, and then we'll be working back in there. We'll watch from the eye in the sky. Another cool thing in Run 8 is working hump yards. That's pretty cool. And you can set up the tracks however you want to sort your trains. You just ran a red absolute signal. Well, I tried to switch it, it wouldn't let me. I tried to switch it. Oh, now it's going to let me. Okay, fine. Well, we won't run that one. How about that? All right, let's get some dynamics on. Start slowing down a little bit. Come right after Sirius. Hear those dynamic brake fans all the way up here. Put a bunch of handbrakes here, so we should have slack right here. Hold the pin, we're good to go. Back forward. Like the Canadian Northern? Yeah, I think as far north as they go is, was it Roseville, California? A bunch of stuff down in SoCal. And then this is a pretty new route. I don't remember if this is the newest one, the Gulf Coast. Norfolk and Southern down in Alabama, which is not connected to anything. Almost all of the routes out in California are connected. So like I can drive for like 12 hours across the railroad because I've got all those routes. Not that I would do that. That sounds incredibly boring, but it gives me a lot of room to play and run different locals around different areas. All right, we're going to use our loco brakes because we got lots of locos. Oh, I forgot to pull the other ones out. I always do that. I meant to leave those there. But I'm a big old dummy. What tracks do we have to work with here? We got tracks we can stick the empties on, so we're all good. Alrighty, so we need to come back in here. I'm gonna go through that switch, and we're already lined back in here. Cool. See if we can get them put on these tracks, and then we'll pull the loads out. I think it's just around Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. That guy going like a house on fire. Getting tired hitting all the wrong buttons. Hey, catch you later, Albino. Sorry, I just saw your message up there. Have a good night. I'll be getting off here for too long. I think we'll be able to run back to the yard. I think we'll be able to get this finished on this stream. I do have to work tomorrow, so there is that. That's the wrong button there, dummy. We want to push the whoa button, not the go button. We get slowed down to about 5 as we come back in here. Let's get back on the ground. Hop on the car. Hey, give me the ladder. What I really liked about this route, and I wish they did that with all of them, is it came with a ton of documentation about like how to run the locals, what each local does, where it goes. So for me, as a guy who likes to run locals, I was like, yeah, I'll have some of that. That's kind of the first route they've really gone that extensive with it. You get a ton of documentation about how the game works, but didn't really have it set up. You know, this local does this, etc. Where are we at here? Can we get this a little further back in here? How are we doing? Yeah, let's... Well, we're not going to be able to squeeze another car in there, so this is fine. Close that and pull the pin. Yeah, there's some Florida stuff, but I don't know for sure. I don't know Florida that well, but there are some Florida routes and maybe up into a little bit of Georgia. There's a lot of routes. I don't know them all. Yep. I used to ride horses a long time ago. My mom's had horses. Well, life now she has miniature horses. Not much good for riding. Hey, give me the ladder. Drag me through the bushes. Yeah, Arkansas. I'm not sure. I don't know what their plans are. I would kind of suspect no, but who knows? They play their cards pretty tight to their chest. They're not the best at communication. Although I've emailed their support a couple times and they're responsive there. But as far as their plans, they're not very communicative. Inside the thing. All right, how we looking? Right over the switch. Perfect. That's fine. We'll leave it here. We can always pull it out after we get the pickups. All right, apply the handbrakes. Close that angle cock. And we don't have enough slack to pull the pin. There we go. Okay, let's get these loads gathered up. I just push space to jump. That doesn't work in this game. Oh, did they announce it's Louisiana? Cool. That should be a fun state. It's pretty wild to get Missouri, drive around my home. In very condensed form. Driving around my home state. Sometimes you just gotta play with the horn. You need one of those little trackmobiles back in here to build these scrap trains. I feel kind of ridiculous with 3 SD40-2s picking up one car. Yep, they're slowly spreading across. It's quite the undertaking. Oh, breaking my heart here, train. Seriously? There we go. Oh, we probably got a closed angle cock on the other end, don't we? Yep. Alright, can I do it from the... here? I've seen people do this and make it look so easy. You're supposed to be able to just click. There we go. You can do it that way. It's incredibly difficult, at least for me. Alright, release the handbrake. We're off. I think. Yeah, there we go. So we need this switch, I think. It's kind of buried in the ground. And the points are inside the frog of the other one. They don't actually model the complex track. It's just a switch. You can drive all the way from Maine to SoCal, huh? That would be cool. Slow down. Dang. I think we're here. Cool little loader back here. Look at it. It's so cute. Hey, get good at this. And you're supposed to be able to do the hoses too. No? There we go. Like a pro. Okay, and we just need to pick up this cut of cars here, hook up to our train, and head to the yard. Done and done. Kind of looks like a good opportunity for a screenshot. There we go. Which of these? So you're lined up right. Uh-oh, literally unplayable. Scraps floating. Oh, no, it's this switch right here. That sounds really good if you got some bass. So it was right down on that almost 1% grade now. A lot of these industries on this route I've noticed are not level, and it adds to the challenge. I forgot to take the handbrake off of that car. Wonder it wasn't protesting wildly. Got a hockey game? All right, Curtis. Thanks for dropping in, bud. Have a good one. Hey, Solace. Woo! Quit looking at chat. Drive your train. Alrighty, let's see if we can manage to get this all hooked up. So if we come up about here. Here? Okay, so you have to get right up on the coupler. That'll do the air hoses. There we go. I keep forgetting they added this feature. Okay. And we need to close the intercock on the back here. Gotta get right up on it. We were picking up 3 cars, so we run back up 3 cars. Then you're already open, so you can go to partial. Watch our flow rate there. Shouldn't take long. Yep, there we go. Only got 3 cars. And we release all the handbrakes. We are good to go. So let's hop back in the cab. And we'll sit here going nowhere at 300 amps. Pretty steep grade. We just got to hook on to the rest of our train and then head back to Bessemer Yard. Which is on this other screen over here. Can't find any bees? Yeah, it took me a long time to find bees. And then they're all over the place in my 3rd playthrough. You just never know. Alright, set our counter. We're only about 500 feet long. Around 10. Gonna yell at me for passing a signal. Nope, I gave myself a signal. We're good. I'm dispatching this area of the railroad right now. So. 5 feet short, huh? Oh, so close. Hey, Reefing Medic. No, it's more of a simulator sandbox. Pretty hardcore simulation. awesome physics and systems. There's no game to it. It's just a big sandbox. You can do what you want. There's a lot of groups that run it like a real railroad, and I just kind of do my own thing. Why are we not rolling backwards here? We'll release on the brakes. Huh. All right. We'll give her a little bump. Not quite enough of a... Oh, the grade evens out quite a bit up here. I gotcha. Not enough of a grade to overcome the friction, it looks like. If you're just tuning in, we're kind of at the tail end of... This is the second stream working the AB45 local. We just picked up our last set of cars. Dropped off and picked up our last set of cars. We're getting ready to head back over to Bessemer Yard, tie down, and we'll be done. Then I got to go to bed because I got to work tomorrow. So we're getting close. If you missed the last stream, you can go check it out. It's under my live section. Where we started in Bessemer Yard and went all the way over to... no, started in Norris Yard. I was saying that backwards. We're going to end up back in Norris Yard. Worked our way over to Bessemer. Did a bunch of industries along the way. I need to get some links in the description on these streams, because there's some good videos out there that cover like what Run 8 is, and I've done my own videos on like, hey, you just bought Run 8, now what? Now how do you make this thing work? Because it's pretty daunting. I watched a bunch of videos when I got started. All right, you were full on. Let's go ahead and release the handbrakes. Let that settle out if it needs to. That hooked up, and then you open, and you partial. And we're good. All right, the air stayed bottled up. It's kind of draped over a hill, so it's going to start sliding backwards as the brakes release. Let all the slack run out, and then we'll be heading on out of here. Beautiful. Let's hop back up in here, and I think we'll turn... Should we just turn this back over to auto? I think we will. So let's clear these up. That should go back to red. And then my destination block, I want to go in... Oh, is the yard full? Oh, crap. We got a little bit of room here. 5980. How long are we? We are... Oh, we're only 800 feet long. We're good. Plenty of room. So I double right-clicked on that block to tell the automatic dispatcher that I want to go there. Let's see if he'll get us there. And then I also need to turn him back on this screen because I was doing my own dispatching. Some of the more complicated stuff, the automatic dispatcher just can't do. All right, we're sitting here by the signal. We should be able to tone him up. Say, can I have a signal, please? And he gives us a signal because there's nobody else out here. My ditch light's not working? Interesting. Okay, well, whatever. No ditch lights for you. Off we go. I got a little bit of a grade here coming into Birmingham, Alabama. And we also have a speed restriction, 25 coming up, so we can't get going too fast. We'll get up to speed. Then it's not too far of a run back to whatever yard that is. Norris Yard. Looking at a paper map here. Yeah, Norris Yard, where we're headed. That's where we started last stream. That's where we end up. This local runs out from Norris Yard out to Bessemer and then back. There's that traction motor winding change that it does around 22 miles an hour. In case you're wondering what the relay clicks were. Really disappointed we don't have like good clacky clack over the diamonds. Get a little bit, I guess. Yeah, apparently I don't own the skin for whatever locomotive this is. I've got the two Norfolk Southern. I don't know if that comes with the base game or not. Ease up a bit here. I'm not super familiar with the route, so I usually keep this up so I can see speed restrictions and whatnot. All the number controls go up to 11. Yeah, but this one, see, it goes to 11. We got another train. Look at that. Finally have another train coming through. I can't tell what track that signal is for. That's got to be for this track, right? One can hope. I can see that train on the dispatch screen. Who are you? Where did you come from? Yeah, it's surely been on the left. It's meant for this track. I think the cross buck, not the cross buck. What do you call the signal mast that goes all the way across the track? Whatever that is. Alright, who are you? I'm curious. Who's this train coming past us? M211. Okay. I don't even see you on the screen, but howdy. Should be like right in here, I would think. It says he's way up here. Oh, this little inset is down. Oh, right. So this is the connecting piece here, these dotted lines. Got it. That's why I was confused. Well, that's a red signal. That's very much a red signal. Oh, now it just turned green. Surprise! You can't see it till you're underneath the bridge. Alright, false alarm. I will say, this route has the most confusing dispatch screen known to man. Like, I was trying to figure this route out. I was starting over here at Norris Yard. So, to the right is west, and that's a railroad south. So, yeah, that bent my noodle pretty good. Also, there's these extra board. So this is a way to teleport your player, basically. And the one for Bessemer Yard went to Tuscaloosa. So it's wrong. So I was really confused for a while. I figured some of that stuff out. Like, okay, that's kind of starting to make a little sense. Now that I've been down to Bessemer and back, I know it a little better. Alright, I think once we're past this signal, the whole train will be up past the thing, so we're into the 30 zone. Where does that track go? Huh. Alright, we got green for go off in the distance there. We'll let her creep on up to 30. Let me get my phone to work here. I'm gonna text my wife night night. Oh, going too fast. Don't text an engineer. Apparently we're on a downgrade. Get into some dynamics. Let the slack run in a little bit. We didn't speed too bad. And it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. But it's the principle of the thing. Back in the good old days, random crap. Alright, should we come out of dynamics? It looks like we're going to be back to level and or climbing again up here. And blown for a crossing for a while, so we'll pick that one up. Next signal, about half a mile, and we got green for go. Perfect. Now we're over on this screen. I'm AB45. Engineer Kerbo! Look at that. We're gonna hopefully end up down here in this track. That's where I told him I wanted to go. Get back into the throttle because we're headed uphill. Hey, Bob turned. Giving me the side eye. Rule G. What's that one, Brian? There. I blew for the crossing. Alright, 3 miles to the yard limit, it looks like. We got a reduction to 15 in about 3 miles. this view down a little bit. It's right control P. Yeah, to save the camera position. And it should remember that for every locomotive of this type. It'll remember that camera position. These are 40-2s, right? Yeah. No, it's a 45. Hey. I think the ones on the back are 40-2s. I don't think I have any SD45 screens or skins. So that's why it just says run 8. Alright, we got a flashy flash. Does that mean we're going to have a speed reduction? Oh, concerning adult beverages. Gotcha. Yeah, got a little bit of a grade coming again. Back into the amps. I want to slow down just yet. I want to get back to the yard. I need to go to bed. It's past my bedtime. But we're real close to finishing this off, so we'll just wrap it up. Tire down to the yard, and that'll be the AB45 done. Pretty fun run. This'll be ran again for sure. I want to check out some other locals as well. Alright, we have red over orange. Some kind of approach, I think. Anybody out ahead of us? Nope, just the yard. So we're gradually slowing down. We'll just let it slow down to about 25. That's fine. A little bit of a stiff grade here, 1%. So has he already lined us up? Besh. Yeah, I think so, because I think that's a reverse to get to here, and then yeah, it looks like he's already got all the switches lined for us. There's the overpass. I remember that coming out of the yard, so we're getting pretty close to the yard. About a mile. I'm guessing the 15 is the yard limit. So let's go ahead and start slowing her down. There means something. Let's slow it right down. We're still on that big grade. Contact the dispatcher when you're ready to go again. Okay, as long as you got me lined into the yard, we're good. That's a good view. There's my train. This has like blacked out ditch lights for some reason. I blacked out everything. Blacked out number boards. Huh. Probably some kind of story behind that. Alright, half a mile to the yard. We're just above the limit. Ready to get back to the yard, Bob? Bob is ready. Give it. Show Birmingham North Yard. Inbound, channel 26, 803. I don't know if we need to talk to anybody. Apparently they're not talking back. Channel 26, yeah, 803. It may not be in-game. So if you're playing with like on a server, you know, somebody could be running the dispatch for that yard. You would tone them up that way. You can also just go to the menu up here, say tone dispatcher. It's 14th Street, it looks like. But that's not our signal. We're good. It's a slog up here into the yard. A little bit of a grade. I'm just going to trust that he has this lined into the right place. It kind of looks like he does. Here's hoping. Hey, Chase. We're just catching the tail end here. We're pulling into the yard and getting ready to tie down. You can always go back and rewatch if you want to see the whole local. It was consisted of 2 streams. This was the second half. Running the AB45 in Alabama on the Norfolk Southern. Yeah, so we're pulling into this track right here, I believe. So he did line it up for us. That's good. I think I'll hang out here and watch the train roll by. About 1,800 feet or so of it. Should hit the counter, then I would know. Well, we got plenty of room. This track is 5,900 feet long. And we're 1,800 feet long, so we got lots of room. What strain we got back here? string of covered hoppers, then we're done. Just a little bit of grade heading into the yard. The end of our train here. There it is. Got the gravity brakes working for us. On Poland. All right, that'll do. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. About the graffiti. They don't do that in game because they don't want to glorify vandalism, is what I've heard. Okay, we made it to the yard. Let's pop back to the front of the train here. And I don't need to shut these down, but it's kind of fun. So we'll do that. Some of the newer model locomotives, you can do all that from the cab. These, you can't do that, unfortunately. Have to just do it from here. And also, unless they've added it, there's no shutdown sound. It just stops running. There is a startup sound when you start them up. There we go. How much fuel we got in these things? Oh, they got tons of fuel. Oh yeah, barely burned any. Alrighty, well that's the AB45 done. Need to hop back in my cab here. We'll go ahead and shut the switches off as well. So we got that one turned off. All right, Bob, you're free to go, bud. Oh, I'm inside of a car. Bob remains unimpressed. That was a cool run. I need to head off to bed though, folks. Thanks for hanging out. If you're new here, check out my playlists. I do a little bit of everything. Simulation, survival, shooters, all kinds of stuff. And occasionally trains. Have a great rest of your evening or morning, whatever it may be, and I'll catch you in the next adventure. Take care. Bye-bye.